What's that I smell? Is that oven roast turkey? That can only mean one thing. It's almost time again for the Harvest Festival event in Animal Crossing. The first time this event was introduced was in the original N64/GameCube version of the game. And usually the animals in Animal Crossing don't really like to think about the fact that sometimes they eat other animals. But during this occasion, the Mayor Tortimer invites everyone cordially in town for a wonderful feast and even invites a special guest turkey named Franklin. It's only upon arriving into the town that Franklin notices underneath the word guest a faded, half-erased word reading dish. This causes him to hide around the town and be very afraid, because you know what dish means. It's dinner time. Franklin can be seen hiding behind buildings, trees, and signs in fear of being eaten. Tortimer, however, is patiently awaiting the main guest to show up. While he is waiting, he asks the player to give knives and forks to all of the villagers. After you deliver the knife and fork to the villager, they will talk about a mysterious stranger sneaking around in town, and they'll give you a hint about where they're hiding. Of course, Tortimer didn't tell anyone that their special guest would be coming because, he's dinner. But when the player finally finds Franklin hiding behind something, he will demand that the knife and fork you are carrying be handed over to him. Sort of like a shakedown. But it's a friendly shakedown, he just doesn't want to get eaten. After you hand over the knife and fork, he'll give you a special piece of furniture from the Harvest set. And then, after that, you go back to Tortimer, talk to him again. He'll forget all of a sudden that he gave you the knife and fork and wondering if he's going senile. I think he already is senile, but then you just rinse and repeat for the whole Harvest Festival set, with Franklin changing locations each time you get a new knife and fork. That's how it worked in the original game and in City Folk. However, in New Leaf, the event was changed drastically. I guess they thought that saving a villager from being eaten wasn't a good story premise for children? Maybe? I think it's all in good fun, but Franklin returns again, only this time as a welcome guest and a chef. I guess since you're the mayor running the town in this game and Tortimer is out of the picture, Franklin feels comfortable coming over and, cooking for all of the villagers. In this event, the player has to collect ingredients for 4 different courses. The player can find most of these ingredients for themselves, however, each just has one special ingredient that you could only find by doing tasks for your villagers. Most of the time, the villagers will just request you to get a certain fish for them in exchange for the special ingredient, and then every time you get the special ingredient correct with Franklin, he will give you a fruit basket. If the player gets all of them correct, you will get a cornucopia. And that was the Harvest Festival event in New Leaf. This is how the Harvest Festival worked in the old games, and although we don't know how the new festival is going to work in New Horizons, I do have some predictions and some reasons to back those predictions. It's already confirmed in the original launch trailer for Animal Crossing New Horizons that Franklin is going to be returning, and he is also confirmed to be wearing a chef's hat. So I'd imagine that we are going to have an event similar to New Leaf where we get a cooking event. However, I'm hoping for some slight or major changes to the cooking feature in New Horizons. So what I think they're going to do is make you the chef actually and add cooking to the game as a feature. I think it would be really interesting to see cooking as a feature because we have all of these ingredients like fruits, pumpkins, and just various food items that we only really use to eat and then pick up a tree. I think it'd be really cool if we can mix those ingredients together to kind of figure out new recipes and have an encyclopedia kind of like the Fish and Bugs, but for recipes. Say you take a peach and a pear together, boom, you make a fruit salad or something. That becomes a new recipe that unlocks when you craft it or cook it. And you would have to go to like a fire source. There's a lot of fire sources in the game, like a cauldron or a fireplace or just any fire source in the game. And you bring like a pan item in the game or something, and you're able to cook or something. I think it'd be interesting to see those mechanics added in New Horizons, and it would give players more to collect in the game because a lot of people have filled out their museum. They filled out all of their fish and bugs. They're waiting for something new to collect. And I feel like this would, scratch that itch for them, for those players who are still looking for things to do in Animal Crossing and people who love to collect stuff, like me, because I just love collecting stuff. And it would give players a new chance to discover things by trying different ingredients together, so it keeps people interested in playing the game. Another way that they could implement this feature is by having food recipe cards, just like they have DIY recipe cards. And the way that you could get these recipe cards is by talking to villagers, and it would create more villager interactions, more reasons to talk to your villagers beyond getting their photo. I think that would be really good for the game in general. What I imagine Nintendo doing for the actual cooking process is similar to the DIY process, where you just click the recipe in your menu and you do the little poof animation, you know, crafting, cooking animation. But a little cooler thing that I was thinking about is, Nintendo probably won't do this, by the way, is taking the mechanics from Cooking Mama and rotating a pan around, trying not to burn a dish or something. The only reason I'm suggesting this is because I really enjoyed Cooking Mama, and I feel like a lot of Animal Crossing players specifically really enjoyed Cooking Mama, so it'd be cool to see a little mini game in there where you have to try not to burn something. But Nintendo probably won't do this because, I don't know, it just probably won't happen. Either way, I'm really excited for cooking. I'm excited to see what Nintendo does. Let me know what you think Nintendo will do, or let me know your suggestions for the cooking update and the Harvest Festival in general. Let me know what they should add or what you think they should add. And like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.